We apologize for the delay, but I just want to say thank you for everyone for your attending tonight. We'll be broadcasting out into Facebook Live. But before we go much further, it's my honor and privilege to introduce you to our new president of Gadsden State University. She has come on board, and we're so excited to have her here, and glad to have her here tonight to give remarks to our FAME chapter. So without further ado, Dr. Kathy Murphy.
I'm going to do this unless you're offended. Where are our students? So, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who raised your hand, you are why I do what I do. This is my first, I'm going to call it gig. My daughter's in opera and musical theater, and she talks about her gig, so I'll talk about my gig. This is my first gig to do with 2-year. Most of my career has been K-12, but I want you to know I am your supporter. I want you to know what's going on in your life and in your career is important to me. And so please know that I'm a president that'll care and does care about you. And if I can help you, you let me know what that is. Our business and industry folks, you're over there somewhere, right? Let me thank you for your partnership. Thank you for giving these young folks an opportunity to be able to have experiences with you, to take their careers to the next level. I'm so grateful for partnerships. None of us get where we are without the support of others. We've all heard that story about the turtle on the post, of course. How does the turtle get on a post? Somebody help that turtle get there. And I often think about myself in that same context. I've had the privilege of being able to move forward in my career, not because I'm all that, but because there were lots of very supportive and good folks along the way who held my hand and nurtured me and gave me opportunities. So please allow me to say to you how very much we appreciate you. I'm so proud of FAME. From the time I've walked into, I almost said school district because that's a K-12 term. From the time I've walked in the college, I've heard so much about FAME. And we're so proud of FAME and of our students who are in the cohort and those of you who are providing this support. So thank you so much. Lisa, so nice to meet you. Met yesterday with some folks and they said, you just must meet Lisa, and so I'm delighted to do that today. Thank you all for coming this evening, and thank you for allowing me just a few minutes to welcome you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to steal any thunder from our coordinator, Andy Robertson. He will be giving you the information piece about what FAME is. But I do want to tell you what I've observed with FAME as this chapter has grown into something special. This is a collaboration between industry partners who are dedicated to developing a workforce and putting resources into our college. It's a collaboration with East Alabama Works and Gadsden State, so that we are training the best technicians, I think, in the United States of America, and I'm going to say probably on planet Earth. That's our goal. That's our mission. We do what we need to do to make the partnership and the collaboration with the industry successful. As the Dean of Workforce Development, I'm committed to this FAME chapter wholeheartedly and to the success of you students. Those of you that I got to speak to during our orientation this time, those of you that were in there, I told you as far as your career goes, you hit probably the lottery when you got to go to work and receive your training here at Gadsden State and to keep your nose to the grindstone and do great things. And some of you are really close to graduating, and I'm going to be there to watch you, and I'm going to be cheering when you cross that finish line, so hang in there. So without me speaking too much longer, I just want to say thank you for everyone that is attending here tonight and those of you that are watching on Facebook Live. And now I'd like to turn it over to Andy Robertson.
Good evening. Thank y'all for coming again tonight. I just want to echo what they say. Thank you. We appreciate you coming. Appreciate industry partners. Appreciate our students. Without the students, we would not be able to fulfill the needs for our industry partners, and industry without you, we wouldn't have a need for these students. So thank you. It's a great cohesion that we're working with together. So thank you very much. So I'm going to kind of start. FAME is an Earn While You Learn program, but I'm going to kind of start a little differently. I'm going to show you a video of a young man that's in our program now that's a senior that'll be graduating in May, and the company partner he works with. So you can kind of see a little bit of his day as he goes through his day-to-day work, and you'll also see pictures of the lab that he's in and the equipment, things that we use. So I just want to start with that, and then I'll come back and kind of talk to you and introduce FAME to you a little more.
I knew I wanted to do something where the job changes every day, and it's not just the same thing, same old boring thing every day. So I took the path to join the FAME program. You're really set for life, because to be able to go to school and get paid at the same time, that's really important. And also learning the material and getting the experience under your belt, that's really important. And you're gonna know what you're doing. And it's gonna be really nice to be able to learn something like this, I promise you. Well, it almost happened immediately. I went here, did my whole panel interview, went home, got a call immediately, and I was like, don't know this number, this could be them. So I answered it. It was Chronospan. You know, I was happy just to get picked, honestly, because that set me in a path where I wanted to go with my life. So I was happy about it. They put me right to work, and I started learning immediately, started picking up immediately, and I got to save as much money as I could before I had to start paying for college and all that. So it was really helpful, honestly, that I could start as soon as I did. We make wood flooring, but I don't really touch any floors or wood at all. I'm an electrician there. I'm trying to train with a controls tech now, so now I work with PLCs for the most part, and that's just basically programming what you want the machines that make the wood to do. It's a lot of good dudes there. They'll teach you anything you want to know. As long as you want to learn, they'll teach you anything you need to learn. And man, those dudes have taught me more in a year than I've ever learned in high school or throughout my whole life. One day you might be working on PLCs, the next day you might be running some pipe, or the next day you might be working on a robot, and that's mechanical. You know, it switches up every time. You never know. You're gonna get a call over the radio, and they're just gonna tell you something totally different that you've never seen, and you're gonna get to learn that. Thanks to the FAME program, you know, you only have to go to school 2 days a week, and then you also get to get paid for going to work. I've always wanted to move out of my house, and I've moved out of my house, and I'm living on my own. And to be able to pay for my own self and live off my own self, it's like the most important thing in the world to me, is honestly becoming a man. You can really do the FAME program if you put your mind to it. You really gotta dig deep and go into it and study everything. And you need to pick as much up as you can as possible while you're at work, because you're gonna be studying the same exact thing when you go to school those 2 days. Honestly, if you have a strong enough mind and you have enough willpower to want to do something and become really good at it, then you can do it. You can do anything you put your mind to.
So that's what I wanted to just kind of fill in. Devin did a great job there kind of explaining a little bit about FAME and what is FAME. So you can see behind me, FAME is an Earn While You Learn apprenticeship style program. The students, as Devin said, go to school 2 days a week. You work 3 days a week with your industry partner. You're guaranteed to start a bare minimum of $12 an hour, and you're guaranteed to work at least 24 hours a week. So it kind of takes care of the issue a lot of students have for juggling. How do I get enough hours to work, to pay some bills, or to take care of things? But also, how can I get the classes I need, because I need to be able to work, because you kind of got a mix-up schedule. So this is really the best of both worlds, because you qualify, or you You go to school the 2 days a week, get all the classes you need those 2 days, and you're freed up to work at least 3 days a week. So it's a great opportunity. And like Devin said in the video, you're earning while you're learning. So you're making money while you're learning. It's a tremendous opportunity. The next thing a lot of students want to know, well, that's great. How can I pay for school? So obviously you hear us say it's earn while you learn. So you are earning money while you're learning. But at the same time, we also have several other opportunities for students, such as financial aid, grants, our WIOA, which is Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act, and also ALAMAP scholarships. The ALAMAP scholarships are structured just for our FAME students now, so we have those out there just for our FAME students. But between the financial aid, WIOA, grants, and ALAMAP, traditionally our students are ended up going to school for free, which is a tremendous burden relief, or taking off yourself or taking off your parents. So this way, when you're working, like I said, you're working, going to school, you're learning. The other thing, when you finish, so you see after 2 years you graduate, you receive an associate's degree in industrial automation. You receive the FAME AMT, which is the Advanced Manufacturing Technician credential, which is a very big deal in the industry. The industry recognizes that, especially Toyota and some of the others. It's a necessity if you want to go work in equipment service with them. You also receive 5 lean manufacturing credentials, safety, 5S, troubleshooting, some other things that you learn, so you also receive those. The 2 last things are probably some of the biggest aspects that you receive from this FAME program. You receive 2-year verified industry experience. So that means when you finish, you don't have to worry, well, hey, I'm going to look for a job, but they ask you for your experience, and you say, well, I don't have any. All I've got is what I did in the classroom. This takes care of that because now you have the experience you did in the classroom. In addition to that, you've been working in industry. You've seen real live industry. You've seen how things work. So you've been there for 2 years working and getting experience. And typically then when you're done, you start out in the entry level industrial maintenance or equipment service technician. You're starting out good. And if you work a little overtime, you're going to see behind me here, you're potentially start out at about $60,000 a year. So you can be 20, 21 years old, graduate with an associate's degree, debt-free from school, making $60,000 a year. That's a very, very good setup when you finish here. So that's part of why FAME, that's part of what sets FAME alone, why we have a good partnership and relationship with industries, and why students are into FAME. So it's a great, tremendous opportunity. So to tell you a little bit of the background for FAME, obviously you can see FAME stands for the Federation for Advanced Manufacturing Education. You receive, like I told you, an industrial automation technology degree. The FAME program was started in 2010 in Kentucky by Toyota. It started as one of their programs and has been very successful, so it's kind of starting to spread nationwide now. I don't care to tell you, as you see here, it's in 13 states and on 31 community college campuses. The state of Alabama, we have FAME program on 5 campuses in the state of Alabama. So Gadsden State is fortunate enough to be one of the 5 campuses that offers a FAME program and curriculum. As you see here, there's nearly 400 sponsoring employees and more than 1,100 program graduates now working in the career field. So this has been going on for a while, and as you can see, it's very successful. It's working everywhere it's been a success. So what is industrial automation? How do you know if that's something you're interested in? Well, as it tells you here, you typically maintain and repair equipment such as industrial machinery, conveyors, production, packaging. Also get into working with PLCs, which is programmable logic controller, robotics. So with the PLC and the robot, that's basically the brain. The PLC is the brain for any automated operation. If I can come up and hit start and the process starts happening automatically, it's being controlled by this PLC. And you can't get just people off the street to come work and control your PLCs. You don't want that because then your industry partners don't want that, do you? Because then your stuff crashes and you got a big problem, right? We don't want any part of that. You've got to be a qualified person to come in and work on the PLCs and the robots. Within the industrial automation, you obviously follow safety precaution, full-time jobs with benefits. Opportunity for overtime is common because traditionally in this industrial setting, you'll hear from the industry partners, a lot of times they have overtime and need you to work some overtime, so you have the potential there if you want it. So there's plenty of opportunity for extra money. Currently, there's nearly 500,000 industrial automation professionals in the U.S., and as it shows, the job outlook is high, and it's so high in the state of Alabama, our governor, I think by the year 2025, has issued a mandate. She wants 500,000 credentialed employees working in the state of Alabama. So that's a huge number, 500,000 in less than 4 years now. So we've All the colleges are really working to get these credentialed employees out to students so they can become employees. So we're really working hard to get that done. So as you see, it's a huge demand, and it's not limited to Alabama. We're here in Alabama, but if you get this credential, get this experience, this transfers to the East Coast, the West Coast, the Midwest, anywhere you want to work with industry, this works for you. So it's a great career. So what we're looking for in the industrial automation program, typically not your just standard student, because that's part of the FAME motto, it's global best. So we're looking for the top students in the industry or in the program. So we want basically what's considered the top 1%. We're looking for really good students. But I'll caution you at that. Don't let that turn you off. If you potentially are in high school, you've really struggled, or maybe high school hadn't been your thing, maybe you're more of a tinker, you like working with your hands, you do well, you like taking things apart, this program is for you also, because that's part of the things that you need in this program. You need to be able to work, analytical, problem solving. Those are all qualities that we need here. So, and as you see here, it's designed to be a successful apprenticeship type program. You go to school Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday, depending on what cohort you are. You work the other 3 days of the week. You graduate in 5 semesters from Gadsden State, so in 5 semesters, you finish with your associate's degree. As you see here, potentially students work 24 to 30 hours a week, bare minimum of $12 an hour. And I have learned from talking to students and other industry partners here, typically students are not just making $12 an hour. Typically they're starting out better than that. So typically you're starting 13 to 14, so they're really doing very good, but you're guaranteed a bare minimum of $12 an hour. So that's a great start point while you're going to school and while you're learning. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Tarina Chinfloni. She's our FAME instructor, and let her go over the curriculum and show you some videos.
Good afternoon. My name is Tarina Chinfloni. My personal safety commitment is always use the proper tool for the job. I'm the industrial automation and FAME instructor here at Gadsden State. I'm actually a graduate of Gadsden State. I received a 2-year associate degree from here, and then went to work at Southwire as their senior electronic engineering technician. Walking from school into industry for the first time was extremely intimidating. Going from the trainers, we have some great trainers. I've received a wonderful education, but it is different than walking into the industry and doing it on an industrial level. So 2 years I spent at school. Another year I spent learning the company's safety processes, how to order parts from supply, the machine numbers. I mean, it took another 6 months to a year to learn everything, to absorb all that in. And then another year after that to fine-tune some of the skills, learn the tricks of the trade, to where I could walk out and fix anything that I walked out to, a good 2 years after the fact. So we're talking about 4 years. These students are going to get that all together in 2 years. It makes that process from going from school to industry a little bit easier for everybody, I think. So for the program, 5 semesters, and each semester you'll do a core class online with the exception of 5th semester, which is all technical courses. One thing that sets FAME apart from other programs is we have what's called MCEs. These are manufacturing core exercises. They're lean manufacturing based, and they do a project at school and do a project at work that is based on safety, 5S, lean manufacturing, problem solving, and machine reliability. We also incorporate professional behaviors. So there are things that these students do that traditional students don't. We have safety meetings before every class. These are things that help the students develop leadership skills, communication skills, showing initiative. So we work on professional behaviors along with different key things throughout the semester as well. This is a picture of our senior cohort here on National FAME meeting out in Calhoun, Alabama, and their signing day. This is our junior cohort, and I'm going to show you some more videos of some students.
My name is Blake.
My name is Blaze Adams. My sponsoring company is Resolute Forest Products of Coosa Pines, Alabama. Here in Coosa Pines, we produce fluff pulp. Fluff pulp goes in many different things. It goes into a lot of your everything you use in your daily life. Food purposes, medicine, masks, just a very broad variety of things. At Resolute, I am currently with the electricians and instrument mechanics. So I get to see a lot of electrical equipment, various ages, from old stuff to new stuff. I get to work on a lot of valves, a lot of different instrument to air positioners, IDPs, just different equipment that really has a very vast variety of things that I could work on and have experience in that I really could use in daily life. The FAME program really interacts well with work and your sponsored company because your days are laid out for you on a set schedule. I got to go to school on Monday and Wednesday or Tuesday and Thursday, and I've got to be at work the rest of the days of the week. And I think that's a really flexible schedule, really, because you have 3 days to work a week and you have 2 days to go to school. Our high school counselor was very involved in getting us into the FAME program. First off, you have to start with an essay. You start out and say, well, what is FAME to you, and what does your education mean to you? And you go through an interview process where you kind of come in and you sit down at a round table with your sponsored companies, HR people, or just your basic managers, and you sit down and they ask you questions based off of how your work ethic is or what you would do in certain situations. And then from there you're called and you're asked to, hey, do you want to come work at this company? I mean, it kind of reminds you of just like an NFL draft or MLB draft. You go through the interview and then they call you and you have the decision then to make, hey, do you want to work at this company that they're calling you? Because you're not always promised for another call. Here at Gadsden, I've taken kind of a good variety between mechanical and electrical classes. We've taken classes such as pumps and piping or industrial mechanics, and we've taken classes such as PLC or motor controls. Your material that you're learning at school, it can be translated over to work very easily. When we do have a new schedule come out, our classes come out, they are sent to our supervisors, and they kind of make it to where you're more involved. So you do have that backup, or if you don't get something in class, or if you're kind of in the gray area, you can go to work and get your hands on it, or have somebody that's done it for a while explain to you, say, hey, this is how, just have another person explain to you what you're learning. It kind of helps you just have that well-rounded idea of the material that you're learning. I enjoy being at work, especially at Resolute, and I enjoy learning. They say you'll never stop learning. I learn something new every day, and I really enjoy that. To new people who are interested in the FAME program, I strongly encourage it, because if you've never had any experience in a trade, or if you've never had any experience in working a co-op schedule, I think it is very good for people with experience and without. I believe that anybody can come and do this. I think that if you have the work ethic and the want to, I think it's a very, very, very good option to take. The FAME program is awesome for any person. I think that it's a very, very, very good decision to make.
And here's one of a few of our students together.
The FAME program, one of the most beneficial things is you have that experience that you wouldn't have with just getting a degree and starting work. You have that hands-on experience at work that you can put on your resume, that you have worked 2 years in the craft that you have, where whether you go to start at that company you're sponsored by, or if you go start somewhere else. I mean, you have that 2 years of experience that you can't really get anywhere else.
You get a 2-year degree and you also get 2 years experience. So most jobs are always asking for that 1 or 2, 3 years experience, that gives you a foot ahead of the next applicant that doesn't have any experience. So that gives you a better chance of getting hired to your dream job.
to be able to go to school and get paid at the same time, that's really important. And also learning the material and getting the experience under your belt, that's really important.
I really enjoyed the FAME program. It's given me an opportunity to learn something. It challenges me because I actually had a degree before this one in marine biology. And so this is kind of out of what I originally went into, and it's not really something that I would say I'm all that great at. So it's really something that's challenging me, and I enjoy that.
I first got my electronics engineering degree, and then I went to work, and I wasn't interested as I thought I would be, and I ended up coming back, and I heard about the FAME program, and it actually fit what I was looking for because I decided to work while I was going to school, and it collided right perfectly.
And you know, you can really do the FAME program if you put your mind to it. You really gotta dig deep and go into it and study everything. And you need to pick as much up as you can as possible while you're at work, because you're gonna be studying the same exact thing when you go to school those 2 days.
I think it's a great opportunity. There's not many places where you can pretty much get a guaranteed job that could lead to a even better job, get the experience and the knowledge all at the same time. You know, most of the time you go through school and you have to wait 2 to 4 years before you can even get out and start doing that, and you can already be doing that while you're going to school.
To new people who are interested in the FAME program, I strongly encourage it, because if you've never had any experience in a trade, or if you've never had any experience in working a co-op schedule, I think it is very good for people with experience and without. I believe that anybody can come and do this. I think that if you have the work ethic and the want to, I think it's a very, very, very good option to take. The FAME program is awesome for any person, and I think that it's a very, very, very good decision to make.
So one of the things that we also work on with FAME is teamwork. And you're about to hear from our industry partners, and all of these industries are working together as a team. They're not competing with each other. They're not trying to, they're working together as a team with the school, so that for the benefit of the students. So you have an entire team behind you built just for your success. So I'm going to introduce one of our former presidents, Kelvin with Bridgewater.
Thank you, Tarina. So good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Kelvin Wright. I am the past president for the FAME chapter. On behalf of President Dana McCain, I want to welcome everyone who is attending both physically here tonight as well as virtually. I want to piggyback on something Mr. Chinfloni said, and that's with regards to the teamwork. About 2.5 years ago, we all got together as industry partners, and we all recognized that there was a huge void in all of our companies, and that void being maintenance technicians, the IMTs that you're hearing us talk about tonight in FAME. We all came together collectively, we were introduced to FAME, and we all bought into it almost immediately, because again, it not only helps us fill an immediate void, but also a long-term void, as we're having retention in that specific area also. So this was a great program for us to latch on to bring and partner with Gadsden State to really and truly fill those voids for us. The benefits you've heard, and you'll hear a lot again. It's a earn while you learn. Again, you heard the students indicate you're going to go to school for 2 years, practically debt-free, and after 2 years, are pretty much guaranteed a job in the $55,000 to $60,000 range. You know, again, let me repeat that for the parents. Debt-free, 2 years with a degree, and earning over $55,000 a year. That's a great opportunity for those individuals who are really and truly interested in this field. The one thing you'll also hear tonight is that this is not your traditional manufacturing, this is not your traditional maintenance. So this is just not turning a screwdriver. You heard Mr. Robertson talk about PLCs. You'll hear individuals talk about well-lit facilities, clean facilities. So it's a lot different than the manufacturing stigmatisms that we had of the old. The last thing I'll say is when you look at this program in its entirety, and Mr. Haywood brought up earlier, also with regards to the development of these individuals. So when I sit here and look at Devin and Blaze, I go back to just 2 years ago when they sat in a panel of 8 individuals at 18 and 19 years old for an interview, and how nervous they were and how poised they are now on the video. And you guys can recall how you felt being in a room with 8 industry partners coming fresh out of high school. So again, it's developing that leadership and it's developing them as young adults also. So we're greatly proud of that. So with that, let me introduce you to Bridgewater Interiors. We went way far back. All right, so Bridgewater Interiors is who I'm with also. We are a Tier 1 manufacturer for Honda. We manufacture, assemble complete seat assemblies for Line 2, so we supply all the seats for both the Honda Passport as well as the Honda Pilot. Again, I think what you'll hear across the board is these are all great industry partners. They'll talk about their benefits. They all have great benefits, as well as the opportunities post-graduation. So, you know, you hear everyone talk about tuition reimbursement if you guys want to go back and pursue another degree afterwards. Great opportunities for all the industry partners involved. So again, welcome to everyone tonight. With that, I'm going to pass the baton and introduce Ms. Katie Jolly for Eastman.
Take this thing off. So I'm Katie Jolly. I'm the Site Engineering and Maintenance Manager at Eastman Chemical Company. We have one FAME student with us, and you talked about the growth, and I met with this individual last week, and he came to me in September, and it is just amazing. His name's Jacob Mintz. Jacob Mintz, is that better? Yeah, he's like waving me down up there. And just to see how dynamic his growth has been in the 4 months, it's amazing. And the excitement, and he kind of called you out. He calls you Mrs. C to me. But just the excitement about what he's learning and then coming to our facility and being able to apply those things with our maintenance and E&I technicians. And Eastman, we are a little bit different company than the rest. We're a true chemical manufacturer. We make heat transfer fluids that go into distillation in those type of environments. And we also make what's called Skydraw, which is an aviation fluid that goes on airplanes. So if you ever drive by our plant on 202, you'll see distillation and those type of things. But like I mentioned, I think this is a great program. I did not come out of school debt-free, and I had student loans, and I was in school for 5 years. And I think someone mentioned that working in industry was definitely a culture shock for me. So not only are you learning about what you're doing in school, but you're also learning that culture, and that's huge. So I wish everyone best of luck, and hopefully you guys will come see me at Eastman sometime. Let's see, I don't know who's next. Honda. Make sure you speak into the mic, okay? There you go.
Thank you very much. I want to just mention kind of echo some of the things we've heard. This is not the same group that we saw a year ago and 2 years ago. And Tarina gets that every day, I know, but it's really been impressive. And the things I want to point out as we've had the experience of these students at Honda is how quickly they become respected in the maintenance team. Any student that will come in and apply themselves and try to learn and ask questions and be a participating member of the maintenance team becomes dependent upon very quickly. And for the parents out there, hopefully they're watching us online and in here, what do we want for our children, right? We want them to have a good career, a stable job, and be well respected at what they do. And this really shows through on this program. So I got a call today again, or email today again of, hey, I've got a couple of guys out and one's moving to second shift. Can I use my student a little bit more? Can he work a few more hours? And as I always caution them, don't let it impact their schoolwork. But yes, if you need them, we can. So they become dependent upon by the departments long before they're graduating, long before they get the chance to be a full-time employee. Last time I talked about one, he said, hey, same thing, I've got people coming out, and this student of ours can take care of this zone in their plant now on their own. So can I use him a few more hours? So I get that a lot, and I'm very proud when I hear that. I think it speaks volumes to these students and to the program. When you become a respected member of your team and depended upon so quickly, that's huge. And I can't endorse it any better than that, I don't think. Wrong way, right? Here we go. Cronus man.
Thank you. Hi, I'm John Cannell. I'm the HR director at Chronospan. Devin, man, I couldn't ask for a better salesman to sell our company. Just so proud of you and Logan and Jaden and all our guys. You really make me look smart for hiring you, so I appreciate it. A little bit about Chronospan. We're an Austrian-based company. Started business in 1892, so we're well over 100 years old. We started our plant in Oxford, or actually broke ground in Oxford in 2005. I started in December of that year, so I've been able to watch it grow from a pasture to the big site. Well, if I get out of the way, the big site that you see here. We actually have 4 distinct companies on our site. We've grown from 115 people as recently as 2016 to around 425 now, and we're still growing, and there's still opportunities for our FAME students to come. Certainly the 3 that graduate this year, they've got a job. But as far as our program, we not only focus on the technical aspects, we also have classroom training. Our training manager comes from academia, and I know a couple of our guys are going through some tutoring on math with him. Just a fantastic opportunity. So for moms and dads who are concerned about their children and whether they're going to make it or not, certainly we're going to do everything we can from our side to make sure that they have every opportunity to succeed. The program is fantastic. As you can tell, I'm excited about it. It's very much like the apprenticeship programs that our parent company and our sister companies in Europe have. It's very, very similar. And the only problem that our owner addressed with me when I told him the first cohort had 4 students, he didn't yell at me exactly, but he did point out that, John, we need about 20. We don't need 4. So we're looking for at least 5 to 6 students in the coming class. And we're just really, really excited about the program at Chronospan. Thank you. Kevin, is it down or up? It's right down. There we go. M&H Valve.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm John Brushaber. I'm the maintenance manager at M&H Valve. And we partnered up with them. We have 2 students this year, and it's been very beneficial for M&H Valve. We're the makers of fire hydrants and city water valves, and we have a foundry and a full machine shop, and then we have powder coating, and it's a full assembly and ship them out to the customers. This is a win-win for the students. You come to school, you learn a trade, you come to work, you learn pay, and it's just, I can't brag enough on how great of a program it is. This year we'd like to get 2 more students and expand from there. The students that we have this year have come right in, and they just jumped right on board, and we've taken them under our wing, and we give them full training for safety. You know, when you deal with a foundry and machine shop, there's a lot of moving parts, and so we train them on safety, and we look after them. But it's something that we're building on, and we're excited, and we hope to further our partnership with Gadsden State. Thank you. Who's next? There we go. Thank you.
So I am representing Prince Metal Stampings, who has 2 students in the cohort, the junior cohort. We have, well, I don't work for Prince Metal, so Prince Metal has about 375 employees at their location in Gadsden. They are a supplier to the automotive industry with assemblies and metal stampings. They supply people like Mercedes, BMW, a lot of our phenomenal car makers. They do not have Honda manufacturing contract, but I'm sure they're working on that, Scott. And so if you are looking for a career where you are not sitting in a cubicle all day, if you want to be out and about and your day is different every single day, then industrial automation is for you, and the FAME program would be a great place to start. So I'm going to turn it now over to our next employer, which is going to be represented by Blaze Adams, their student from Resolute Forest Products.
Hey, my name's Blaze Adams. My personal safety commitment is always for my FR and working on equipment, and I am representing our maintenance manager. And I started at Resolute Forest Products. Go to the next slide. In June of 2019, we have about 280 plus employees at our Coosa Pines mill. We're a Canadian-based company. We make we make pulp, paper, and tissue products. At this specific mill, we make fluff pulp. We have 1 dryer, and this program for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but this program for me has been very beneficial. I've learned heaps and bounds so much of just taking what I've had in class and just exponentially grown on it, and I've just been introduced to so much stuff, and I've had situations that I've learned from that I wouldn't have had anywhere else. So I mean, if I encourage anybody, even if they've never done anything with this, to just take a shot at it. Don't be afraid to do it. Tape craft.
Thank you, Blaze. So now I'm going to represent Tapecraft, who is one of our employers located in Oxford, Alabama, and they make narrow webbing. So if you have a backpack, a rucksack, if you go climbing, if you like rappelling, also in the military, seat belts, that sort of narrow webbing is what is made in Oxford, Alabama. They have a company that's right across the parking lot that is in the aviation industry, and a lot of times they collaborate with each other to make netting that would help in the cargo areas on planes. So really great to see employers within our community collaborating and working with each other. Tapecraft has been around a long time in this area. They have been a stable employer, great benefits. They also will pay for college for our students. So once the student completes the FAME program, if you are looking to continue, Tapecraft will pay that tuition. And it's not just tuition reimbursement. It doesn't matter what grade you make. They are looking to really help and grow that student. So Tapecraft is another excellent employer. They too are looking for 2 students in this upcoming cohort. So now it's exciting to share that we have 2 new employers. It's always exciting when we get to add employers to our FAME chapter and grow our FAME chapter. We are now up to 12 different employers with our FAME chapter. And so we're going to introduce our first new one, and that's going to be Cook Foods, located in Gadsden. And Chad, are you going to be our spokesman for Cook Foods?
You can just carry on. Hey, how are y'all this evening? I'm Chad Robertson. I'm the production manager on first shift at Cook Foods, and Cook Foods actually bought the facility there that was Tyson Foods back in 2007, and we employ about 1,030 employees right now, and we're working on an automation expansion that's going to add close to 150, and that's going to put us being about the 2nd largest employer in Etowah County, and I guess Dean Smith pointed out that we're the nearest large industry neighbor to Gadsden State there at the Gadsden campus, and we're proud to be neighbors with them. We process 2.7 million chickens a week there at our facility, and so our big customers, Walmart, KFC, Popeyes, and so you guys eat chicken, right? So what I'm saying with that is, you know, we're a large volume producer of poultry, and there's great stability because, you know, folks are going to eat. We have a lot of, you know, I think people have a different perception, and I think something you mentioned earlier, Mr. Wright, was changing that old school perception, and I think we're doing just that there at Cook Foods. There's a lot of technology involved in what we do, a lot of more and more automation, more and more computer-based software. Everybody's talking about PLCs, a little bit of robotics type automation. We've got full anhydrous ammonia refrigeration systems there. We treat about 10 million gallons of water, full treatment wastewater facility there. So there's a lot more going on with poultry than I think people understand. And we're looking for 2 to 4 students to come in and be a part of what we're doing. We've got a lot of opportunity, and I think all the industry folks would agree that turnover and retention is a huge challenge, a hurdle for us all the time. And hey, we'd love to bring some folks in there and show you guys what we do and train you, and see you stay there for the long run. A lot of our management group and maintenance especially, they come from the ranks, the hourly maintenance folks, and I think this program is just such a nice marriage of education and practical application. We're looking forward to it. We're excited. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Judy Harrison, and I am the HR Director at Tyler Union. I want to tell you how much I really think about this program. Today is the 3rd day of my new position at Tyler Union, and I'm excited about being able to offer this opportunity to bring on FAME students into our program. I was with the East Alabama FAME chapter when we started out the program, and I was with another industry partner recently, and we have had such good success with the students in the program. We're excited to bring it on to Tyler Union. But Tyler Union we make Waterworks products. We're part of the McWane family. We have been building here since 1907, building Waterworks products. So we're looking in excess of 100 years, and McWane, our parent company, is celebrating their centennial year this year. So they've been in business for 100 years. So that's a little bit of stability, I would think. We do ductile iron fittings, joint restraints, flanges, and valve boxes. Little bit of pictures. Yeah, we do the seal plates for manholes, and you may have seen our little mascot out in front of the building, our little Iron Man. He changes colors of clothing each year after the Iron Bowl. So this year he's got a different twist on the Alabama. I've got gray and red. But this is a really great program, so please consider it for yourself or your child or any students that you may be advising. It's a great program. All right.
Thank you, Judy. So I just want to thank the industry partners. For those of you that are watching here online, I want you to really understand what they're all telling you and kind of bring it home. So every one of these partners have different processes. We're from making manhole covers, water valves, processing chicken, making cars. We're making wood floor and seats for cars. So no matter what you do, I want you to understand that all these processes all roll around or revolve around industrial automation. So that's why this is such a great opportunity and challenging career, because you're not limited to just do this one thing. With industrial automation, it's so broad. You see the different industry partners that we serve here. And that's the other great thing. You hear them. It doesn't matter what I tell you. You hear the industry get up and tell you how good of a success or how successful this program has been for them, how much it has helped them and benefited them, and how excited our new companies and new industry partners are to have and be a part of this program. So it's really, really a great, tremendous opportunity. I'm going to kind of clarify some of the things you have seen and heard industry partners and also Devin and Blaze and some of the other students, Savannah, Brett, talk about on these videos. You hear them talking about a selection process and interview, and you're probably like, well, what's all that? So we're going to talk a little bit at first about the application requirements. So if you're interested in this program, if we've got your attention, mom, dad, whoever you are, prospective student that's watching, so this is what you need to do if you want to be a student or a part of the FAME program. So you need to go to the Gadsden State website, which you should see behind me, and apply to be a student. The admission form is, everything is online. You can do everything online. Once you complete that, you go to gadsdenstate.edu/FAME. We have a FAME application. Just has about 10 simple questions. You answer that. So far you're good to go. Next thing you have to do, you have to submit a 300 to 500 word essay. And I caution all the students when I talk to them, this probably freaks a lot of them out. Don't freak out at this essay. This essay is read by myself and by industry partners. The whole point for this, as you can see, I'm not an English teacher, and most of our industry partners are not English teachers. They speak very well, but that's the whole point behind this. You need to take the topic, what you want to do in the future, what are your goals, how can FAME and Gadsden State help you achieve your goals. Once you do that, if you sit down and think about that as a prospective student, it'll come to you pretty quick and easy. In these 300 to 500 words, you'll probably end up having to cut things off because you've said so much. So I encourage you, don't let that essay scare you. It's not that big a deal, but you can really, it's easy to do once, because if you'll sit and think about what you want to do and how we can help you get there, it'll be pretty straightforward for you. If you've submitted a Gadsden State application, if you've went online and submitted a FAME application and you email your essay to me, you're 3/5 of the way done. The last thing we need to do, we'll need a copy of your high school or college transcripts, and we can take unofficial at the time being. If you're a high school graduate, obviously we need unofficial, or in high school going to graduate, we need your unofficial transcripts so we can verify your placement in English 101 and Math 100. And that's what it talks about here. You also then, if you are selected, you need to be aware you will have to pass a drug screening, just like you would for any employer, and a background check. So whatever the employer requires, you are an employee for that industry partner. You have to meet the requirements that that industry partner or employer requires for you. So applications and essay, that's due to us March 31st of this year. So you've got basically a month and a half to get your application and your essay and fill out your Gadsden State student to get those things completed. At the end of March 31st, we're going to take our qualified candidates. We're going to look and see who we have, and then we'll start pulling and calling for an interview. So again, that goes to this interview and selection. So let's talk about that. So what you do at this point, we have a face-to-face interview with our panel. So our industry partners that are going to hire students or hire employees, which are the students, prospective students, you come in and sit down in front of the industry partners, 7 or 8. In this case, I think we'll probably have 10. I think industry partners probably represented because 10 industry partners are taking a FAME student this time. So when you come in, you'll interview, they'll ask you their questions. They'll basically grade you. So you'll get a grade for how they rank you, if you think how you think you did. When that's all said and done, if you've ever watched a Major League Baseball draft, NFL draft, any kind of draft, that's what this works. That's where they keep talking about the draft, because that's what happens. So now our industry partners that are going to take a student reach into a bag and they draw number 1, number 2, number 5, number 7, whatever the number is, up to 24, and that's their pick. So they actually get a pick. So they choose you. So that's the other thing to understand. If you get a call from this company, it's not like we placed you. That company liked you. They thought you did well. That company chose you. So you were chosen to go to work for them. So that's a huge, huge deal. And that's why you hear these guys talk about they're kind of anxious and nervous, wanting to see who's going to call them. What company are they going to work for? Because you don't know. But I would dare say, not speaking for you, but kind of speaking for you, I would dare say it's probably excitement, anticipation. You can't wait to see who's going to call. You're hoping somebody's going to call and expecting somebody to call and anxious to see who it is. So once that is done and you've been selected, if some of our students, as long as you turn 18 by June 1st of 2021, you can go to work for our industry partners this summer. So they can have you in the plant working, going ahead and learning their safety procedures, the process, see what they do. So you're actually working this summer, making money before you start to school in August. So you'll work this summer with them. Classes start for us on Wednesday, August 18th. So you'll come to class. Technically, the one we're hiring for start on Thursday, so you'll start Thursday, August 19th for us. So then you'll start your Gadsden State career with us then at that point. So if you have any questions, you can contact myself, again, Andy Robertson. It's arobertson@gadsdenstate.edu. I have a couple of phone numbers. You can call either one, 549-8615 or 835-5427. Be glad to answer any questions or anything, provide any more information. If you have questions about the process, if you need help with the process, anything you have, that's what I'm here to help you be successful and get into this program to really see you excel and exceed. So I think that takes us now at this point to questions. So, Carl, I don't know if anybody's got any questions online. We may give them a second. I don't know. I guess new industry partner, Cook. I hate to pick on you. Y'all have any questions? We hadn't told you anything you want to ask us. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to add one thing. He reminded me of it. Right now we've got around 84 maintenance men. So, and that's going to grow.
Yeah, so for those of you that couldn't hear, so Cook Food spoke up and said right now their industry team is based off, or maintenance team is basically 84 industry mechanics or industry technicians. They look for that to grow probably in the up to 90 or maybe over 90 or better. So they're looking to add spots. So obviously that's jobs there because they've already spoken up. So they'd like to have at least 2 this time. So, that's a good thing. The positive thing also I'll echo for all these industry partners you see here, they're all growing. They're all looking to take on partners. Mr. Connell, as he spoke up, they'd like to have 5 or 6. So, them and Honda and others may be fighting it out for how many they get, but they all want these students. They all need them. So it's a great opportunity for anybody that's interested or any students. Anything? So at this time, I think I'm going to let our FAME students come up and introduce themselves. So, and let you hear their personal safety commitment. Let you see them. While you're thinking, if you have any questions for myself, any of the industry partners, or any of the FAME students, please, you can put a message or a comment probably in there, and we'll be glad to answer any question you have. So, Blaze, we already met you, but we're going to meet you again, sir. So if you come meet you again, and we'll just go down the row. Can never get enough Blaze, so we'll just go ahead and get him handled now.
Like I said, my name is Blaze Adams. My personal safety commitment is always where my FR when working on equipment, and I'm from Resolute Forest Products of Coosa Pines, Alabama.
Good evening, y'all. My name is Cameron McElroy. My personal safety commitment is always wear the proper eye protection for the job, and I work at Honda Manufacturing of Alabama in Lincoln.
My name is Bailey Henry. My personal safety commitment is to always wear my safety glasses, and I work for General Dynamics.
My name is Devin Chambers, and my personal safety commitment is to always wear my seatbelt, and I work at Chronospan.
My name is Jaden Nunn, and my personal safety commitment is to always be aware around the machines that I work with, and I work for Chronospan.
My name is Logan Taylor, and my personal safety commitment is to always wear your earplugs in the plant, and I work at Chronospan.
My name is Savannah Garrett, and I work for General Dynamics. My personal safety commitment is to always wear my safety glasses while working on the work floor.
My name is Wesley Thornton. My personal safety commitment is to always use a proper tool for the job. I work at Colorcraft and Bridgewater Interiors.
My name is Eli Gravitt. My personal safety commitment is to always be aware of the machines I'm working with, and I work at Honda Manufacturing of Alabama.
All right, so I'd like to thank our students. So this is all these students in here tonight are our senior cohort. So they're looking to finish school and graduate in May, and then hopefully go on to work full-time with their industry partners. So any questions or anything, Carl? Anything? No questions? Okay. So at this time, I think we are going to be able, though, to extend our virtual and give you basically a virtual tour of our 2 labs that we have, so you can know. Not going to be able to do that. Never mind, I apologize then. I thought we was going to be able to do that today, but I think we have, with our technical difficulties, we could not do that. So if you have any questions that you can think of, if you didn't think of them now or didn't want to ask, please feel free to email me or call me. Again, I'll go back here. There's my contact information. Please don't hesitate to email me or call me. If you had a question for industry, you could call Ms. Lisa Morales, but if it's an application process or question or anything with that, please, again, I can't stress to you enough, don't hesitate to call me, and I'd be glad to help you or work with you anyway to get your application and everything in and have you hopefully be a candidate in FAME. So, again, anybody want to wrap anything up? Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it and hope everybody has a good evening. Thank you.